Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be a little different than my usual content, as I'll be diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious topics of all time, unsolved crimes. From Jack the Ripper to the Long Island serial killer, countless cases have baffled investigators and captured the public's imagination for decades. In this video, I'll be taking you on a journey through 10 of the most fascinating unsolved crimes, exploring the details of each case and discussing the latest developments and theories. So, if you're ready to delve into the world of true crime and mystery, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Number 10. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Madeleine Beth McCann, born May 12, 2003, is a British missing person who disappeared from her bed in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, on the evening of May 3, 2007, at the age of 3. The Daily Telegraph described the disappearance as the most heavily reported missing person case in modern history. According to the PJ, they arrived within 10 minutes of being alerted. At 2 o'clock, 2 patrol dogs were brought to the resort, and at 8 o'clock, 4 search and rescue dogs were. Police officers had their leave canceled and started searching waterways, wells, caves, sewers, and ruins around Praia da Luz. Madeleine's whereabouts remain unknown, although German prosecutors believe she is dead. Netflix released an 8-part documentary series, The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann, on March 15, 2019. Number 9. The Delphi Murders. On February 14, 2017, the bodies of Abigail Williams, June 23, 2003, February 13, 2017, and Liberty German, December 27, 2000 to February 13, 2017, were discovered near the Mononhigh Bridge Trail, part of the Delphi Historic Trails in Delphi, Indiana, United States, after the girls had disappeared from that trail the previous day. The murders have received extensive media coverage, including reports that video and audio recordings of an individual believed to be their killer were found in German smartphones. On October 26, 2022, a suspect was taken into custody and was, on October 31, 2022, charged with 2 counts of murder. Time magazine described the arrest as the first major break in a case that has captivated national attention for nearly 6 years. Number 8. The Golden State Killer. Joseph James Dungello, Jr.B., born November 8, 1945, is an American serial killer, sex offender, burglar, and a former police officer who committed at least 13 murders, 51 rapes, and 120 burglaries across California between 1974 and 1986. He is responsible for at least 3 separate crime sprees throughout the state, each of which spawned a different nickname in the press before it became evident that they were committed by the same person. On August 21, 2020, Dungello was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Number 7. The Long Island Serial Killer. The Long Island serial killer, also referred to as Lisk, the Gilgo Beach Killer, the Manorville Butcher, and the Craigslist Ripper, is an unidentified suspected serial killer who is believed to have murdered between 10 and 18 people over nearly 20 years and has disposed of their bodies in areas on the south shore of Long Island, New York. Most of the known victims were sex workers who advertised on Craigslist. Number 6. The Ketty Cabin Murders. The Ketty murders are an unsolved quadruple homicide that took place over the night of April 11 to 12, 1981, in Ketty, California, United States. The victims were Glenna Susan Sue Sharp and E. Davis, born March 29, 1945, daughter Tina Louise Sharp, born July 22, 1968, son John Stephen Sharp, born November 16, 1965, and John's friend Dana Hall Wingate, born February 8, 1964. Number 5. The Black Dahlia Avenger. Elizabeth Short, July 29, 1924 to January 14 to 15, 1947, known posthumously as the Black Dahlia, was an American woman found murdered in the Leimert Park neighborhood of Los Angeles on January 15, 1947. Her case became highly publicized owing to the gruesome nature of the crime, which included the mutilation of her corpse, which was bisected at the waist. After the discovery of her body, the Los Angeles Police Department began an extensive investigation that produced over 150 suspects but yielded no arrests. Number 4. The Setagaya Family Murders. Mikio Miyazawa, his wife Yasuko, their daughter Nina, along with their son Rei, were murdered during a home invasion by an unknown assailant who then remained in the family's house for several hours before disappearing. Japanese police launched a massive investigation that uncovered the killer's DNA and many specific clues about their identity, but the perpetrator has never been identified. The media frenzy and long investigation of the murders became a cause célèbre to abolish the statute of limitations for crimes that could merit the death penalty in Japan, which was removed in 2010. Number 3. The Tylenol Murders. The Chicago Tylenol murders were a series of poisoning deaths resulting from drug tampering in the Chicago metropolitan area in 1982. The victims consumed Tylenol-branded acetaminophen capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide. 7 people died in the original poisonings, and there were several more deaths in subsequent copycat crimes. No suspect has been charged or convicted of the poisonings, but New York City resident James William Lewis was convicted of extortion for sending a letter to Tylenol's manufacturer, Johnson & Johnson, that took responsibility for the deaths and demanded $1 million to stop them. The incidents led to reforms in the packaging of over-the-counter drugs and federal anti-tampering laws. Number 2. The Somerton Man. The Somerton Man was an unidentified man whose body was found on December 1, 1948 on the beach at Somerton Park, a suburb of Adelaide, South Australia. The case is also known after the Persian phrase tamam shud, meaning is over or is finished, which was printed on a scrap of paper found months later in the fob pocket of the man's trousers. The scrap had been torn from the final page of a copy of Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, authored by 12th century poet Omar Khayyam. On July 26, 2022, Adelaide University professor Derek Abbott, in association with genealogist Colleen M. Fitzpatrick, claimed to have identified the man as Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer and instrument maker born in 1905, based on genetic genealogy from DNA of the man's hair. Number 1. The Disappearance of Maura Murray. Maura Murray, born May 4, 1982, is an American woman who disappeared on the evening of February 9, 2004, after a car crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire, a village in the town of Haverhill. Her whereabouts remain unknown. She was a 21-year-old nursing student completing her junior year at the University of Massachusetts Amherst at the time of her disappearance. Thanks for watching the most fascinating and mysterious topic of all time, unsolved crimes. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more content like this. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I love hearing from my viewers. Until next time, take care and keep learning.